Live from Connecticut's newsroom, Fox 61 and The Current, bringing you more local coverage. Now, the morning news.
Right now on your Fox 61 Morning News, before you hit the roads, get ready for a slippery, snowy commute. We have a look at the latest with the winter weather before you step out the door. Plus, a security scare strands hundreds for hours at a northeastern airport, the breach that sent a Newark, New Jersey airport into lockdown. Also, a disturbing crime in the Elm City, why a 13-year-old is being investigated, accused of shooting a child of the very same age. Good morning, everyone. I'm Joy Lim Nakrin. It's Monday, January 4th. All that's ahead, but first on your Fox 61 Morning News at 4:30, our top story this morning, the wintry weather causing rough conditions out on the roads, and we're looking live on the roads this morning. The DOT is warning drivers that the conditions out there are treacherous right now. The DOT has nearly half its trucks out, and they were out overnight salting and clearing the roads ahead of the morning commute, and they expect to have trucks out during it as well. This after snow pounded the state yesterday. This was a scene in Milford yesterday where snow covered the roads there. It made driving difficult or even dangerous for everyone who decided to venture out into the storm. And New Haven certainly got its share of snow. The Elm City green is all white and still bright from the Christmas decorations. A few people decided to bundle up and brave the conditions, and as you can see from the strong winds, the weather has been rough there. The wintry mix also caused problems for drivers in Manchester. A Fox 61 News photographer came across a crash there, and just as he was reaching for his camera, another SUV came spinning toward him. Luckily, the SUV stopped before it actually crashed into our photographer. People around West Hartford Center, though, did not let the cold, windy weather ruin their weekend. Some took walks, while others even went jogging, as you see. Workers kept busy salting the sidewalks to help with those slick conditions. The weather was somewhat forgiving, though, in Darien. Drivers there didn't have too much to deal with along I-95. The area did not seem to get that much snow, and what it did get seemed to taper off by dark yesterday. But, of course, all this is not behind us just yet. Let's go ahead and check in with our meteorologist, Joe Fury, with a look at what we have in store for today. Welcome back, Joe. All right, well, just to make us feel a little bit better about the snow that we're having here, elsewhere in New England, snow is not the only concern. Along the Massachusetts shoreline, they're actually dealing with flooding right now. 8 to 12 feet waves pounded the seawall, leaving coastal towns underwater like Gloucester, Lynn, Scituate, and Revere.
Scituate, that's part of living down here, I guess. It comes and it goes. Comes in with the tide, depending on how high or what the weather is.
Many areas of Massachusetts got up to 10 inches of snow. Move further west and you'll see some serious snow there. The scene from Buffalo, and if the heavy snow is not enough trouble, the temperatures definitely should be. The temperatures were between 0 and 5 degrees below zero yesterday. We're getting some developing news into our newsroom right now. Crews are on the scene of a house fire in Morris. We're told this started just about an hour ago, around 3:30 this morning on Watertown Road. Crews have reportedly been seeing heavy fire from a second floor. Tankers from 4 different companies are on the scene right now. Fire officials say, though, that no one was home at the time of the fire. We do have a crew on the way, and we will, of course, bring you the latest as soon as we learn more. Also new this morning, firefighters are investigating an overnight fire in Bantam that has sent a family out of their home. This 2-alarm fire started on the back porch and it spread to a house at 416 Maple Street. Crews got it under control in about an hour, but it caused enough damage that the family could not go back in. Luckily, no one was home at the time and no one was hurt. A Waterbury family has also been displaced after a fire at their home as well, and firefighters say the cold and windy conditions made fighting the flames a lot harder. They believe this fire spread from a chimney into the walls of the home on Lincoln Road yesterday. Luckily, that family was able to get out safely, and crews also removed 2 dogs that were upstairs. A fire in Cromwell also sent 2 people to the hospital in that town, a child for frostbite and an adult for smoke inhalation. Investigators say the flames started under the family's couch yesterday, then spread to their Christmas tree. It looks like firefighters were able to contain the fire to the living room, but they're still not sure what exactly caused it. Fire also forced a popular Bloomfield restaurant to close its doors Firefighters say strong winds fueled the flames at Mavi restaurant and eventually pushed the fire inside. The cause of that one is still unknown, although the fire marshal is not ruling out arson. Some developing news in Newark, New Jersey this morning, where officials continue to investigate a security breach that sent the Newark Liberty International Airport into lockdown for hours. A man walked through a screening checkpoint exit and into the secure side of a terminal at one of the nation's busiest airports around 5:30 last night. Flights were grounded for hours and passengers had to be rescreened while officials searched for the man. Passengers were allowed to begin boarding about 6 hours later. TSA searched the terminal thoroughly to make sure that no dangerous objects were in it before reopening checkpoints at 11:45.
I was a little scared. They said that there's just a threat, and someone passed through security who was unmarked, and that's why there's thousands of people in there that they don't know what's going on.
We had all just gone through the security checkpoint, and we saw the security chasing after somebody. Everybody was yelling. The TSA people were yelling 10-9, 10-9. They told everybody to freeze. We couldn't move. They said not to reach in. They didn't want us to reach into our bags. We just basically stood there.
Transportation safety officials say despite scanning surveillance tape for hours, they never did find the man. Well, as the federal government tries to step up airline safety, strict new regulations for air travel go into effect today. They target anyone flying in from a country on the state-sponsored terrorism list. Fox's Julie Banderas takes a look. Well, President Obama plans a meeting with Homeland Security and counter-terror officials tomorrow. Coming up on your Fox 61 Morning News, a warning for drivers before you hit the roads. We're going to have a look at the latest on snowy streets and slick conditions outside. Also, a new standard for cell phones that could be hitting store shelves. How several places are considering radiation labels on them. 4:40 this morning, you're watching the Fox 61 Morning News. We will be right back.